Hi, my name's gwEm and welcome back to the gwEmbassy. Last week I did a little jam with the Roland TR-505, which is probably the most unloved of Roland's mid-low series, but I think it still has some really cool features. Actually, I featured it in one of my Twitch streams, which are every Wednesday night at 7 PM UK time if you're interested. One of the cool things about the TR-505 is that you can trigger external MIDI devices because it's got a MIDI note output. So what I've done is to connect it to the little Roland SU10 sampler from the 90s. Let's see what happens with the jam. So the central piece is the TR-505, and that is being used to create all the drum sounds except for the kick drum. And it's also got MIDI out features, which I've used to trigger samples. I'm going to play the samples I've got stored in the SU10 so you know exactly what's going on. There's the kick drum sample. And that's been taken from Norman Cook's Skip to My Loops sample CD. I've also got a breakbeat from that sample CD as well. And I've also got an octave of bass notes. Unfortunately, the SU10 doesn't allow you to pitch the notes, or you just can trigger it at the pitch that it's been sampled at. So you have to sample every single note that you want separately into the SU10. I'm using the long sample quality mode, which allows you to play 4 notes at once. So having the breakbeat, the bass and the kick, I would have needed at least 3, which isn't an option. I could have done 2. Let's play the first segment. Now, the TR-505 doesn't allow easy muting of instruments. You can still chain patterns, so what I've done is I've got 3 pattern chains which make up the track. This one is the first one, then I've got this chain, and then finally this chain. Here's the first one. I've got the SU10 muted, and the Volca is off as well. So all those sounds are coming out of the TR-505. Let's unmute the SU10. It generates quite a bit of hiss, but it's not too bad. Then you'll hear the samples that the TR-505 is triggering in the SU10. It's the bass sound, as you can hear. That bass sound is actually sampled from a Behringer Mini Moog clone. Although the quality is quite gritty, and I probably could have used any synth to make that sort of sound. Let's go to the next chain. Introduces the kick drum from the SU10. And finally, this is the last chain. Brings in the breakbeat and talk a bit about what's happening on the Korg Nubass. There's actually 3 different patterns that I used in the jam. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. And finally, the third. During the jam, I actually had it set so that the cutoff was modulated by the built-in LFO of the Nubass, just to give it some movement. Then I passed the whole thing through this Nux Time Core, and this is set to a ping pong delay effect, which means the delay repeats are in stereo, so you get one in the left ear, then one in the right ear, and it makes it the whole sound much wider in a very cheap and easy way. But I could also have used this Zoom multi-stomp to generate a ping pong delay if I'd have wanted to. I just fancied using the Time Core, to be perfectly honest with you. I really like the sound of that spacey ping pong delay. And depending on when you choose to stop the TR-505, the new bass either immediately stops or it leaves that quite cool sounding hanging note. And either way, it's a good deal. I like the cool hanging note. So that's how that TR-505 jam went down. I hope you'll consider liking the video, and it'd be even better if you could subscribe. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I hope to see you again on the gwEm soon. Take care.